Good evening. So, it is the middle of February, and normally by now I would be doing my seed starting. But the weather here in Arkansas has been really kind of nuts lately. Normally we have fairly mild winter up until this point. Then it starts to get colder, and we get a little bit of, snow, a little bit of ice here and there, whatever. But it's just been so erratic. It's been going from one extreme to the other. And so less than 2 weeks ago, we had a big snowstorm. We had probably, 8 inches of snow. It snowed over the course of 2 or 3 days. And we got kind of low on feed. We got kind of low on hay. We got low on several different things. And then we ran out of propane. And unfortunately, that's kind of important. But it was just so cold that there really wasn't a whole lot that we could do about it. And so I did not want to start a whole bunch of seeds and have my seed starting station like completely full of stuff that needed to maintain temperature, with us not able to, just turn on a heater and leave it on all the time. So that being said, bear with me. That being said, we decided to hold off on messing with seeds. Now, I really should have gotten busy sorting through my seeds, because last year I used a combination of an old, silverware container, right? To sort out all my seeds that were non-flower seeds, so like all my fruit and vegetable seeds. And then I took note cards and labeled them and put them in between each of the seeds. The problem with that is that unless you put them in a closed cabinet where nothing can get to them, then rodents can get to them when they're in storage. And more importantly, we have cats that we keep so that we don't have rodents. And the cats, well, let's just say they would like to get up and lay on top of my seed collection. And of course, I have 2 separate stashes that I found of where I actually did my last round of seed starting during the winter, late fall, early winter. And then also another stash, I'm actually proud of myself that I didn't find more, from where I planted out flowers early fall. So I found 2 separate seed stashes that weren't where they were supposed to be. And then on top of that, so there's one of those. At least they were in nice containers. That habit's getting better anyway. My husband was going through some things, and he found where I had placed an order from seedcatalog.com, right, which is a source for non-GMO and heirloom seeds. In August last year, because the seeds went on sale. I love the packaging on these specific seeds. They're just really vintage and cute looking. But like here, for example, this is a variety of peas, bush beans, and let's see what else we got in here. Romaine lettuce, iceberg lettuce, bunching onions, kale, Long Island Brussels, cauliflower, crimson giants, Danvers carrots, French breakfast radishes, and then I got a coupon for 10% off of my next purchase and then some free seeds. I don't actually know what they are, but they come in these cute little very eco-friendly brown cardboard. The problem with these seeds, guys, if you order from them, make sure you either take a picture of the packages and blow them up like on your smart device, or you're using like a spyglass, because I kid you not, look at how small the words, I know you can't see, it's out of focus, but look how small, tiny those words are. I can't see them. I wear glasses, and even with my glasses, I can't read them. So, these guys have a really great selection, and the price that I paid for all of these seeds was like 30 bucks. So you cannot go wrong with that. It was just some extra seeds of things that I knew that I used a lot of last year, and that I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of, especially with the shortages and things that we've experienced over the last couple of years. Okay, in addition to that, I also took advantage of Botanical Interest. I love Botanical Interest. Okay, they are a great source for seed, especially if you want to be able to have things that are super hardy, because they're in a more northern area. And what I did is I took advantage of a sale that they were having. Again, this was in July of last year, and I ordered some cover crops because we've got some new areas that we are going to sow seeds in and grow on this year on our homestead, that we've actually had covered with old rug. Actually, that's how we started our first garden area, was covering it with an old rug for a long time. But we spread those out late summer, early fall, and they've been spread out over the areas that we're going to use throughout the entire winter. So what we will do is we will come in and we will probably use the no-till gardening method. Probably. I don't know. We'll see what the soil looks like. And put down cardboard and then come over the top of that with our soil, and then mulch heavily and grow some things there that will be more of cover crops. For example, we got common buckwheat from Botanical Interest, right? We got hairy vetch, also from Botanical Interest. The soil, they have this is a combination. I really like this. This combination is a combination of field peas and oats, which can help improve the nutrition and the organic matter in the soil. If you will just plant them, they will help hold back your weeds and everything. And one of the great things about this is, like, you can sow this as a cover crop, and then you can come in and just dig a hole wherever you want to and like put a tomato plant or whatever. And it's natural mulch, and it also feeds the soil. So like that. Last year, some of my clients that I sold seed starts to weren't happy with my choices of basil because, well, like a lot of gardeners, I like variety. And so I did not have any of your traditional Genovese basil. And I had a couple of clients that complained about that last year. So I made sure that I got a big thing of Genovese basil. Rachel, if you're watching, this is specifically for you. Last year, I wanted to grow amaranth. The seed that I had was fairly old. So we picked up some of the Love Lies Bleeding Coral Fountain. This was new to Botanical Interest last year, and now there's a similar one that's called something about like Kissing Over the Garden Gate or something like that with Baker Creek, and I think that they're very similar to each other. If this does well, I will make sure and show you guys it. I got some hyssop because everybody needs that for their garden. And then as a thank you, I got a lettuce muscovy blend from them. And again, this was on sale late in the season. I spent 19 bucks. So I find, especially when I'm just supplementing my existing seed collection, that it's nice to just kind of get little bits and pieces here and there from one of my favorite vendors. Forgive me as I trip over my tongue. To do that so that I can supplement what I already have. And all of my seeds aren't from last year or the year before or the year before, because I have some seeds that are ancient, that have been passed down through generations and things like that. And I try always with those older seeds to plant them and then reharvest the seeds. But you just don't, it doesn't always happen. Sometimes the seeds don't take, sometimes your germination's not there, sometimes you have trouble with temperature control or moisture control or any number of other issues. So I'm actually coming to you live from the floor of my home office, as a matter of fact. I I've recently had a job change, and so now I'm, as of right now, knock on wood, say prayers for me, please, please, please. I'm able to work from my home, which cuts down on commute time, wear and tear on vehicles, that kind of thing. But also makes it to where I can be here for deliveries, pickups, making sure that I'm here for keeping an eye on the animals whenever we've got animals that are about to have babies or that are sick or whatever. I can be here to check on them and look out for them, whereas commuting an hour back and forth to work, I wasn't able to do that before. So I'm hoping that being here on the homestead will afford me the opportunity to still have, you know, my day job and make income to support my family, but more importantly, to be able to do both, to be able to switch hats, you know, more efficiently. So I'm actually sitting in the floor in my new office, and one of the things that I want to do in here, the walls in here are like 40 or 50 years old with the original like press board whatever stuff on them. The wallpaper has like peeled off in some places, and my mother was going to take old books and use a sealant and basically make her own wallpaper with used books. But I've discussed it with my husband, and I think I'm going to follow that same vein, but instead of putting old black and white books on the walls, I'm going to use last year's seed catalogs and other, you know, for homestead catalogs, and do that. I think it's going to make a really great background for when I'm doing like educational style videos, or just sitting and chatting with you guys, or sharing with you about seeds. Also, my seed starting station is in this room. It's not completely set up yet, but as soon as it is, I'll share it with you guys. In the meantime, what I'm working on today is sorting through and organizing my seeds, because like many homesteaders before me, I finally made the plunge and made a purchase for something that I have wanted for a long time. I actually had it on my wedding registry and nobody got the hint, and I wish they had. Price has gone up a little bit since then, but I have my first seed storage color coordinated container, and I also have a label maker so that I can make my labels instead of putting them on cards that they're gonna fade off of. So that being said, I have my new seeds from Botanical Interest, my new seeds from what did I call these guys, seedcatalog.com, as well as my new seed storage container so that I can get my seeds out of my silverware container. And what I'm going to be doing over the next little while is sorting through my seeds. First of all, though, I want to give a shout out. The shirt that I have on today is actually one of my most favorite shirts ever. It is super, super, super comfortable, and it says many words, but I love the wild things and the flowers, and everybody that sees it knows exactly where it comes from. I don't have to say who it is, but I'll just say make sure that you guys go to Roots and Refuge store. They have it open right now to be able to place orders for their shirts and their other swag. So go and check them out. Make sure you also check out their newest update on their adventures. They're working on putting up their new greenhouses, including their high tunnels in both. They're also the window greenhouse. So, all right. So everybody that's out there right now that is having cabin fever, like me, everyone that's out there that's just sitting there drooling over the magazines and planning and thinking and figuring and calculating and putting things in your cart and taking them out again, just understand you're not alone. February is a difficult month for a lot of people and for a lot of different reasons. Also, if you've watched this far, we're 14 minutes into the video. If you've watched this far, that means you're truly a subscriber and a follower of our homestead and what we've been working on for the last couple of years. So I want to thank you very much for being here and continuing to support us. As most of you know, the last year has been a really difficult year, and I'll just tell you guys honestly, after kind of the initial shock of losing, you know, my best friend of 12 years, losing my mother, losing some close friends, some of my close friends' wives dying, and just the amount, my husband's grandmother, um, just the amount of loss that we experienced last year. I had a wall about the heat of the summer, and I just didn't feel like I was in the right headspace to create content associated with our homestead. And so I actually took several months off where I worked on an app that allowed me to do um, broadcasting daily, so that no matter how I was feeling, what situation I was in, I had to get in a minimum of broadcasting hours and to get more comfortable in front of the camera, because as someone who's been a photographer and a content creator for many, many years, I'm not comfortable in front of the camera. But this did afford me the opportunity to get more used to the different platforms that are available, and to get more used to being in front of the camera again. And so I hope that going forward this year that we're able to maintain more frequent content, a higher level of content, and that you will enjoy walking through this journey with us as we move forward on our homesteading journey. That being said, I just want to reassure you that we still have our pigs, we still have our goats, we still have our ducks, we still have our chickens. We raised out our meat birds. We've eaten a lot of them, but we still have some of them running around because I didn't have the heart to butcher them all at once and put them in a freezer where they might perish. Instead, I just, we've butchered them and eaten them as we go because we didn't share them with anyone. So there was no reason to be in any rush. Yes, they are a little bit more tender in a certain window, but I mean, they're meat birds. They're fine. We are still doing all the things, and now that we're about to get into spring, I'm really excited about being able to plant all the things and put all of the work and development that we've put in over the last 2 years to see some of the fruits of our labors, so that we can start dreaming and planning for the next stages of what we want to do with our homestead. I just talked to our vendor for where we get our chickens from, and we have a hatch that should be coming off any day now, so it won't be long until the brooder's full again, and we're raising out birds again, and we've got multiple cubes to take care of. We already started having kidding begin for the year, and we've already sold 2 goats this year. We've gotten 2 new females, so our male to female ratio is getting back in the right direction. We had 2 years where all we had was boys, and I was just like, this is not the way that goat math is supposed to work. Also, we had a really nice visit to New York to visit my husband's family, and while we were there, we found out that we've kind of been rubbing off with our homesteading ways with the family in New York, and both my husband's father and his grandparents they're all like super excited for spring to come. They've already beat me to seed starting for the year. I mean, go figure, right? And let's see what else. Working on food preservation, just a number of different things. Because this last year or two has been such a change and a shift for all of us that it's wonderful to be able to share these things with another. So on that note, I am going to start sorting through these piles and piles of seeds, but I want to thank you so much for joining me today and stopping by the homestead. I'll also throw some pictures in with this so you can see kind of some updates and some things we're working on. We're putting eggs in the incubator. We're still sorting and processing seeds and peppers and things like that are dried and from last year. We've got to start the sanitizing process for all of the seed starting materials with the different containers and flats and whatever, so everything's sanitized. we need to construct some shelves for whenever we're hardening off our plants, because I don't have a greenhouse yet. We just have a bunch of little projects that we need to work on. I got some fence repair to do to be ready for the smaller birds to come in. There's just a lot of things going on. Tomorrow we're supposed to have a load of hay delivered. And I have been able to secure a vendor that does not do any spraying so that we can still continue with our organic farming. He knows how important that is to us, so he doesn't bring us anything that's been sprayed. Let's see. I don't know. Like, it's been a long, hard winter. Our whole family was sick with COVID for a very long time. I'm in transition, starting a new job, like I said. And it's been an interesting year. And we're hoping that we can just be good stewards of everything that, we have, and move forward into bringing new life and new experiences and growing together as a community. So again, if you've watched this long, thank you so much for your love and support, and we will see you the next time. Stay safe and stay blessed.